Hello, welcome to Thriving Career Moms weekly live series, which is all about helping mamas of little ones live life in harmony. Because I know, as a mom of a little one, it's a challenging and confusing to find a way to be that good mom to our kids and have a thriving career and be content personally as well. But here at Thriving Career Moms, we are here to help you get clear in your career path, grow in confidence, and live a calmer living where in order to have happier days with your family. And today it's about something that I've been hearing more lately, more moms being unable to sleep at night because there is something keeping them up at night, and not even moms, there is even parents, men. I mean, because of this situation, many people are having harder and harder time to really relax and stop that brain from thinking and have some rest. So, and for me, I found some tricks to really switch off that part of the brain that really keeps us thinking all the time and have some rest. And that's why I'm here today to share that with you. So welcome to again. I'm Sarah, and I want you to think about what's the name of that part of the brain which is just behind our forehead. What is it and what is it responsible of? So this part of the brain, if anyone of us watching now, whether now or in replay, do you know what is its name? So it is called the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is like the central part, that the conscious part of our brain, that the conscious part of our brain. So we evaluate everything that comes to us first by that prefrontal cortex, when it's responsible of decision making and problem solving. So when we are unable to sleep at night, it's that part of the brain that is activated. Now, how can we deactivate it? So before going to that part, I want to share my story first, because it may seem to you a little bit that no, maybe that doesn't work for me when I do this trick to deactivate my brain. But when I share my story, you may see that how it can change. So earlier last year, I joined a course which is called Positive Intelligence, and it helps you. It helps us grow the self command muscles in our brain, which are the muscles that allow us to say no, I'm thinking about this now and not this one, and stop the brain from something and focus on one thing. So these muscles, they found, even when you work on them, they when they do the MRI, they found the difference, because they really develop and they really change when we work on them. So there is a change and there is a difference that can be even seen in MRI. And I was, wow, so this is something that really happens when we train ourselves to grow in self-command muscles. So I did this course, and some things worked and some things didn't work. But one thing, when I was applying, really, I noticed it, and another students also noticed it. So it's teaches us to focus on like it's exercises of breathing and so on. It seems like a little bit like meditation. And this exercise, later when I finished the course, I kept on doing it. There is a lot of other exercises, but I kept doing on this because I felt like I really relax. And so when I do it, and like I almost sleep, but I didn't understand why. So this is first, so you know, even I wasn't convinced like I can like really grow that muscle in the beginning and so, but then when I kept doing this exercise, I noticed how it helps me relax. What is this exercise? So it's like about breathing. So you take some minutes, like 5 minutes, and start first by taking 3 deeper breaths, and then focus on like the breathe normally like this, and just focusing on how our chest moves or the stomach moves when we breathe. And each time, like, because our brains will wander, and so we bring them back. I bring them my brain back to that focus on breathing. And then I move to focusing on my heartbeat. So I put my hand on like to sense my heart, and then I start to really try to focus on feeling my heartbeat. After a little bit of time, just a little bit, like maybe 1 minute, 60 seconds, and so once I feel like I'm concentrating on the heartbeat, I move to another thing after a little bit of concentration, which is hearing a noise which is very fair, and try to concentrate on that, and then a noise that is very close to me. So in this process, in the beginning, so what happens in the beginning? Your mind really resists because these self-command muscles are not really strong. So in the beginning, it's like you keep doing it and like think about another thing. But slowly I started to develop that self-command and really living in that moment of the breath or heartbeat or hearing the noise. And by keeping doing that, I started even to like fall asleep in the middle of it, like in the hearing the noise or something. I sleep, even if like, and I practiced it sometimes when I was really my brain is really preoccupied, especially, for example, now I went back to work, I'm thinking about the business, I have my child, so it's like 3 jobs that I'm doing, and like yesterday, for example, I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing well. I was thinking why I'm not productive, and this kept me really occupied to the point I didn't feel like I can sleep. But practicing this method really works. Why it works now? Let's come back to the prefrontal cortex. The thing that happens when we start to first, when we are thinking so much, there is overstimulation of the brain, of the zone of the brain, which is the prefrontal cortex. So it's overstimulated. There is, and this prefrontal cortex is like the level of activity depends of 2 chemicals, brain chemicals, and neurotransmitters, who are the dopamine and the stress hormone, which is the noradrenaline. So based on those 2 levels, like too much of these hormones, there is like overstimulation, and too low, you are bored, you are unmotivated, and you cannot do anything. So the prefrontal cortex depends on those 2. And when I do the exercise of breathing, I'm like trying to reduce the overstimulation on the prefrontal cortex, because when, for example, we are focusing on hearing the noise, we are activating the zones of the brain which are responsible of perceiving the information coming to the senses. And so the prefrontal cortex is less stimulated. That's why, like, we start to relax, because like that part of the brain that is like keeping us thinking, unable to sleep, and so is less stimulated. So that is what explains why, when, for example, I start to relax by doing it, because this is the result of activating another area of the brain, so that the prefrontal cortex is less stimulated. The other thing, that's why, for example, where we say when we are stressed, go for a walk, because when you go for a walk, you activate other parts of the brain, which are the motor cortex. So the parts of the brain of the physical movement, and so they are active. So there is less stimulation of the prefrontal cortex. So here, you know also why the walks like makes us feel better when we are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and so. So my first tip to, if you are feeling like overwhelmed and not able to sleep, do this exercise of the of a breathing, and then the heartbeat, and then the noises, and keep doing it. And another thing, before doing it, you can also just brain dump everything, because you have overstimulation of your prefrontal cortex. Just take the paper and write everything that you think about it, and then do that exercise. This also may accelerate, because you bring it down, and then your prefrontal cortex will less in charge of like keeping that information in mind. So these are two things now that you can do any day, any time. I mean, even during the day, you can do this exercise and feel a little bit better, not only when you are going to bed. And something else also, just before leaving, doing a walk. I started recently doing it, and what I wanted to say is, like, I know now we are in a lockdown, and we are most of the time staying at home, and as you know, and you notice, like, even from now, hearing that walks really make us feel better and is good for our physical health, and also our brain, and all of this. And for moms, it's like when we can do that, like most of the time it's on the weekend. And on the weekend, because our partners, husbands are not working. But still, a lot of moms don't do it. So if you are one of them that even on the weekend don't go for a walk, I encourage you to do it, to take just that first step once, do it once. Tell your partner, I need to go out alone, yes, alone, and go for that walk, and just go in nature, go, and so on. Then this will help you disconnect a little bit of that monotony of the day, especially those who don't have childcare. So this will help you to reset. And once, when you do it once, it will be easier the next time to do it. And this is something, when you keep doing it slowly, even your partner will like not object to it as in the first time, or say no, it's too much, and so no, even him, it will become a this is the first benefit when you do it consistently. And the second benefit is, like, I was thinking, because talking with another mom, and we talked about like how it's like a privilege when we get some time from our selves. Like, it's seen as it's a privilege, but it's not a privilege, it's our right. And so when we do this, and we show our kids that we take time for ourselves, we go for a walk, we have time for our own selves as moms, even our boys. You are setting an example, a model for your boy when they grow, and so they will support their wives, at least there is more possibility of seeing that, because they saw a model. They will value that because they also see the impact when you feel better and you have that time for yourself. So yeah, nothing is more important than you. You are the model. You are your energy is something that your family needs, and so please take care of yourself. Go for a walk and do that exercise when you are not able to sleep. And I wish you a good weekend. Yeah, thank you, Salwa, for the comment. Salwa said going for a walk. Yeah, going for a walk and writing with a pen paper helped me a lot too. Yeah, exactly. And now you know why it helps, because of the prefrontal cortex part. And so see you next time, and have a nice weekend. Bye bye.